I just saw He-Man, Masters of the Universe 2026, and I'm going to try to review it. But the honest truth is, I have no idea what to say. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so look, I'm fresh out of the theater, hot. I'm going to keep this spoilers down. There might be some very light stuff in here, so just so you know, I've literally been out of the theater for maybe 20 minutes. This isn't going to be a big fancy video. I have no idea what to tell you. I have no idea who this movie is for. I took my 15-year-old son. We both went and saw it together. I can't tell you it's for either of us. And I can't tell you it's not for either of us. And then there is the problem. This film watches like a film that has a half a dozen writers, which it does, and it completely shows. This has a screenplay that has 6 credited writers to it. And anytime that happens, you're going to have a problem because this movie tries to serve multiple audiences, multiple masters at once. You have the executive who brought you Barbie, and she saw this film, stated that this is a 4-quadrant film, which means she believes that He-Man, a serious boy, macho, like based off of Conan, really. We had the Conan toys from Mattel. That's how you ended up with He-Man. They had to transform those toys into something else and make a cartoon. You have this tough barbarian brand with these guys that kick ass and the Skeletor making these evil villain laughs and wisecracks. And you tried to make that what they call a 4-quadrant film, which means it's for everybody. It means it's for men and women, both like 0 to 25 and 25 and older. It basically means it's for everyone. And He-Man is not for everyone. And that's the problem. You should have taken the Barbie approach. Barbie basically eviscerated men. It mocked men. It leaned into the whole girl power fantasy, girls rule, boys drool, because that was a girl brand. And that's what you should have went with He-Man. Honestly, if you're not pissing off someone on one side of this or the other, you're probably missing your audience. This is an 80s America muscle hell yeah brand for boys that gave a good moral message at the end of each movie or at the end of each episode of the cartoon. And then you get this. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I hate the movie, because I don't hate the movie. I can't tell you I like the movie either, because there's genuinely putrid, aggravating, disgusting, stupid parts that will just drive you nuts. And then there are parts that hit you in the feels and you say, man, this could have been greater if it had just went there. And it didn't go there. It didn't stay there. You have this thing trying to simultaneously serve 2 masters. Yes, the he-him thing on the first trailer that everybody got upset about that I didn't like, that's still a problem. They put that in here. You have blue-haired and purple-haired people working in HR over political correctness and stuff, and you're like, well, it's mocking it, though. And then later, though, it's not, because they're saying, well, it's his feelings and being in touch with his feelings and his feminine side that actually make him stronger. And no surprise, they take away all of Adam's strength initially. Prince Adam, they make him little tiny, runt of the litter. Everybody beats him up, picks on him before he has to leave Eternia. And none of that happened, right, in the cartoon. You're putting this in there because you're trying to say, they basically, it's an attack on toxic masculinity, from what they consider toxic masculinity in every single way. It's an attack on masculinity. Period. The end. There's no other way to read it. But then they'll also throw in moments where it's like, yes, that blasted masculinity is bad and it should be gotten rid of, and you should be in touch with your feelings and your feminine side. Why can't you be more like Tila, a girl? Yep, all this kind of stuff is in there. But then they'll be like, well, yeah, but now it's time he actually has to stand up and whoop ass. He has to fight. He has to stand up because that's what men have to do. Not just to prove they're badass, but to actually protect people and the things that they love. So again, you've got multiple messages going on, and it comes off like something written by a bunch of different writers, because it was and they're all trying to put their message in on this thing, and it's confusing to even the critics. Rolling Stone says that this whole movie is nothing but mansplaining at its worst. And then you have like critics from Rotten Tomatoes and I think it's THR who are saying that it's basically, it's Barbie, but for men. It's a feminist this and a feminist told through a feminist lens. You have major reviewers seeing completely different things out of this. And that's the problem, is trying to serve every audience with a brand that was 100% a boy brand, machismo. Prince Adam doesn't become He-Man and become the strongest feeling man in the world because of his feelings and he's in touch with his feelings. No, he gets the muscles and he kicks ass because that's what he has to do. And I'm so confused by this movie because he does do that, right? But then he feels bad about it, and he feels bad about beating someone up who's trying to kill him and everyone else. He feels bad about beating them up. But then he'll turn on a dime and have to stand up and be a man and beat them up. Like, I can't, I don't know. I want to like it. I genuinely want to. The CGI is horrible. Outside of Skeletor, there's scenes where they're flying through the Enchanted Forest in Eternia that looks like you could have done it in your bedroom with a green screen taped to a wall and it would have looked better. 100%. They spent all their money and time on Skeletor, and let's get to Skeletor, because apparently played by Jared Leto. You don't know because it could literally be anybody back there. You never see him, and his voice is altered. But as Jared Leto, he's the best part of the movie. Skeletor is the best part of the movie. There is no doubt. And I never thought I would say that because I think Jared Leto's horrible. But he kills it in this. This apparently the role he was born to play. Although, in my opinion, nobody ever tops Frank Langella, like straight bringing a Shakespearean performance as Skeletor in what is also a bad movie. But here is the thing. Even my 15-year-old son, he's 15, he plays football, they're into fart jokes, bathroom humor, like all that stuff that 15-year-old boys are into. He looks at me and he's like, this is too jokey and stupid. Every time it starts to get good, they just do more stupid jokes. Like, it's just too jokey. It's like they're trying to make it be like James Gunn and the guy who directed Thor Ragnarok made a movie together. I mean, even he's saying, a 15-year-old is saying it's too jokey. And this is a kid that, after everything you say now, he's like, that's what she said. And he's like, it's too jokey. It's too jokey, and it undermines every good moment in it. And there are unforced errors in this movie. I love Idris Elba. I think he is one of the greatest underrated actors out there. I am a massive Idris Elba fan. Well before this, and I think he does a good job in this. But you can't have Man-at-Arms. You can't race swap Man-at-Arms because you kept the sorceress as Caucasian. And then Tila doesn't really look like Tila, but she's still like Caucasian, right? Or, Hispanic, but that's still Caucasian, right? How does that work? Because, spoiler alert, if you don't know, Man-at-Arms and the sorceress are Tila's parents, right? So, I don't know how that works. But we actually, have moments like Tila has to save him again and again. She has to save He-Man. She has to, I got Cringer over there running his mouth. She has to save He-Man constantly. constantly. And he's supposed to be the, strong Prince of Eternia. He's a chicken. He's terrified. He's the runt. He gets pushed around, and he gets strong by becoming, getting in touch with his feelings and finding the hero that was always there. How many times are we going to do that? The hero, you never really had to do anything. The hero was inside of you. And there is a moment, a little light spoiler here, where the sorceress tells him, unlike the other heroes who have saved Eternia throughout history and protected Eternia, they did it with strength and strength through battle and brute force. You do it by your feelings, which makes you so much stronger. Like, come on, man. And they even do, that's not He-Man. They do a thing at the end. There's a special character that shows up. I'm not going to say who it is. And he gives like the little moral of the story that they used to end the cartoons with. And he literally says, today we have learned that strength and protecting people doesn't come through muscles and power, physical power. It comes through being in touch with our feelings and communicating and dialogue. And I wanted to yak right there in the theater over that. Like, come on, man. This is He-Man. And then when you go on and say, look, this is written by 6 different writers, and it's trying to serve all these different things in there, you have moments where this thing is pushing towards R-rated with language, violence, fights, and then other parts where it is straight cartoon ridiculousness. And it just can't find its center. The problem is they went so CGI, so over the top, so campy, and then they would try to bring these serious moments. Again, it seems like something that's written by a bunch of different writers that had a bunch of different ideas that all just got stitched together into this one movie. The tone of this movie should lie somewhere between Conan the Barbarian and Star Wars. That's where this movie, with the campiness in it of a little Thor Ragnarok with Skeletor, but the tone should be more between Conan, like Conan the Destroyer, not the original Conan, that would be too dark, but Conan the Destroyer and Star Wars. That's where the tone for a He-Man movie should be, and it doesn't do that. But it is also fun in parts, and you're like, man, this could have been there. And they cannot get it together. I really struggled with this. I'm like, I'm not going to write any notes. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's the definition of this. It's literally everybody that you have seen have a take on this movie. Whether it's a feminist dream scenario destroying a boy brand, or whether they think you're mansplaining, or whether they think it's all about feminization of men or macho men, they're all right. They are all right in this movie. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to pick a tone, and it should come from what the story was about, and you have to commit to it and stay with it. And I could probably go on and on. There are cool moments. I love when he first turns into He-Man. He's still way too small, y'all, for He-Man. He is way too small. You could have CGI'd him up some muscles, something. He is still way too small for He-Man. And you got Man-at-Arms dropping F-bombs and GD this and GD that and cursing, and it's all over the place. It is all over the place. It is a hot mess. And literally anybody that gives any take on this movie, right, left, center, feminist, misogynist, they're all probably right, because it's written with all those different kind of people shoving ideas into it. And there is some enjoyable stuff in there. Cringer, I love Cringer, but Cringer looks as fake as you can get. Like, they spent $12 on Cringer CGI and got a $10 rebate. Like, they did. Like, it is bad. It is bad. And Allison Brie as Evil Lynn, she should never work again. She should never work again. That was the most phoned in, pathetic performance as Evil Lynn I have ever seen. Like, when you compare her to the actress, and God forgive me, I'm forgetting her name, right, from 1987's He-Man, she blows Alison Brie off the screen. Presence. Evil Lynn's not jokey, goofy. Like, no. But then I love the practical effects on a lot of the other characters. But they just keep making so many jokes. We got fisting jokes. We got these kind of jokes with Fisto and Lockjaw. We got every innuendo you can throw in. I'm telling y'all, I got nothing to tell you. I cannot say go see it. I can't say don't go see it. I would recommend probably you just wait and stream it. And I hate that because I want to support theaters. But for the love of God, I don't know who for you to go see it with or who it's for, because they don't know who it's for. I mean, you had the actor or the director talking about the whole toxic masculinity, and he had to get his mind wrapped around this story by finding the feelings inside of Prince Adam that could really make him He-Man more than the strength. Y'all, that's not what He-Man is. That's not what he is. And again, I'm not going to say I hate it, because there were moments where I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That was cool. And then it would be like, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Like, you can't, like, it's completely cringeworthy and so far woke in some spots, and then completely the opposite of that in other spots. Like, I don't know what they were doing. It's tonal whiplash. It's all over the place. You can tell it was written by committee, produced by someone who said, hey, we can make this just like Barbie. We're going to put all the stuff we put in Barbie and put it over here. And they forgot that this is a boys' macho, muscular brand. And I really just don't know who it's for. It's like, and it runs like 2 hours and 15 minutes. And you're starting to check your watch towards the end. And the CGI is bad. So then you just start getting more and more CGI. And it gets worse and worse and worse. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. It's like this. I don't know. I really don't know. I think if you are a real, like, if you're, this movie should have been designed for people for men in the like 40 to 55 year old bracket, for the most part, that grew up in the 80s, of age in the 80s, watching this when it came out, playing with these toys, and now they are taking their sons, like I was, to this because it's this boy brand that they grew up with, and it's about, masculine men who have to step up, and not because they want to fight, but because that's what they have to do, and sometimes it takes that, and enjoy that kind of like Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Destroyer style with Star Wars mixed in. That's who it should have been for. It shouldn't. If you are, if you didn't grow up with the cartoon then, or you're somebody that like is kind of against the quote unquote alpha male or anything like that, you're probably actually going to like it better than someone who is like, in the 80s, playing football, watching He-Man, working out, and now they're taking their kid to see this ass-kicking, character that was based off of a Conan toy that they couldn't put out because they found out Conan was R-rated. Yeah, like if you are from the softer side of Sears, you're probably gonna like it better. I don't really know, and I don't hate it, but I don't care if I ever see it again either. And the CGI is bad. It's slop. I've gone on long enough. Do what you want to with this. I got nothing, y'all. They don't even know who this movie's for. Not one of the 6 writers. They just all wanted their opinion in the script. And but Jared Leto's Skeletor is pretty cool. So I don't know. That's what I got for you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I know.